Kay's Anatomy by Adam Kay. Presented by Claude. Spelled with a K, not a C. The K at. Alright, so let's get started! I hope you guys enjoyed this episode because I tried to make a live coverage of this, but then, it got banned because there's something about the community guidelines that makes it impossible to do it. So let's just get started on today's episode of Kay's Anatomy. First off, we'll be talking about a few things. Okay, you can go now. Let's start talking about skin. Skin is very important. It is the most important and largest organ in the body. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, everything I can say right now is that I'm done with the skin. It's like the protection cell. It's the thing that protects you. Yeah, it's pretty much that. It's the thing that protects you from doing things, and it's also the thing that is the first barrier defense for your immune system, which is the greatest thing of all. So, say thank you, skin. Anyways, more to it. Let's go on. And let's start talking about the heart. I can actually feel the something. Do it yourself. The heart is one of the most important parts of the body. It's the thing that's running you. Why isn't this zipper working? And there are apps that you can use to track it. Yeah, my beat was 87. Oh, I wonder what mine is right now. It's not 87 ppm, obviously. It was that an hour ago. Anyways, there are apps that you can track. Oh, 76 ppm. That's pretty good. That's kind of higher than normal, but sure, I'll accept that. And yeah, that's about it. So Kay's Anatomy, that's the heart. It's one of the things that keeps the blood flowing. Flow the blood, flow the blood, flow the blood, flow the blood, all the way around your body. And in those words I just said, it has already traveled my body several times. The blood, that is. You can watch other videos to find out how it circulates. This is a quick introduction, and I need to do it. Yeah. Well, number 3, blood. I wish I could just cut myself to show you my blood, but I don't want to get hurt, and I hate pain, so I won't. Anyways, blood is there are 3 types. Plasmas, I guess they're platelets actually, or whatever. Platelets, white blood cells, and red blood cells. Red blood cells are the things that carry oxygen around your body and also send messages like hormones to activate your teenage years, actually. I'm lucky I'm 11 years old. And I've been calling myself 12 old this entire time. Anyways, there's more to it than that. I mean, yeah. So then the white blood cells are like the police officers. They're part of the immune system. They're like, scanning. Found! Oh, intruder found! Get the weapons! They will eliminate it. But white blood cells mainly will do this. Intruder! Ah! Anyways, I didn't eat this, by the way. I did not eat this. Anyways, others would just shoot them to death. Others would just make sure that infected cells will self-destruct. Self-destruct sequence in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next up, we're gonna talk about the lungs. Sump, 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 sump. There are 2 pairs of lungs, and there are always 2 pairs of them. One with 2 lobes, and the other with 3 lobes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's the basics of the lungs. So let's get on with the rest. So the lungs are basically the powerhouse for the heart. If it wasn't for the lungs, then the heart would completely be useless. Unless it had electricity, then it could hypothetically still go on. But then, without the lungs, no person would live at all. Take the lungs out, even one lobe, and you're like, KO! That's basically how lungs work. Alright, next up, the brain. Oh, I do have hair, by the way. So the brain, there's a lot of things to talk about there. It has this little gel inside so that it would not be penetrated. Like, ha! I will now destroy the brain, and I am the only thing that can penetrate to all the skin. I will shoot this dye in, and it will corrode the brain. Pew! And then one side is actually just shot the dye inside, and then boom! It dyed everything purple except the brain. It turns out there's a little shield that covers the brain, which prevents it from being damaged. Ugh, not completely, but from little fluids, yeah. I guess that's okay enough. It only lets some things in and others out. It won't let some things in, and it won't let some things out. Well, obviously, it also does the opposite too, but that's a different story. And, okay, that's basically the brain. And the sixth one, it's the hair and nails. Speaking of nails, I have something under them. Nails are made of this thing called keratin, which is that little stuff you see on my thumb over there. Oh, I missed them. There you go. I know this might feel ew, but this is keratin. I'm pretty sure it is, because it's from the nail. I just plucked it. I just cut the part of the nail off of my nail. Say keratin. Anyways, this keratin, why nails appear is because this keratin is the things that pushes it upward. As it gets older, it goes upward, and as I take these things out, it goes upward, like this upward, not this upward, and then more stuff comes inside, and I have to pluck more keratin off. But luckily, it replenishes it pretty quickly, as it generates a lot of keratin. Yeah, there are some animals who use the same keratin too, by the way. And next, it's the eyes, ears, and mouth and nose. So let's start, not Spart, as in Spartan, with the eyes. Eyes are awesome. They're the camera lenses of the world. Without them, you wouldn't even be able to see. Or I guess you could see, just not in the way other people would. Ears. By the way, I have some sinks in my ears, so it's gonna look a bit weird. This is the ear, and this is the ear canal. If you look deeper inside, there's something else in there too. And so there's more to it than you can think of. It's the thing that collects sounds. Like when I make this sound, the sound waves travel into my ear. Book, enter through it, through the ear canal, and then it hits the eardrum, which vibrates it, sending electrical messages through the cochlea, which translate it into the electrical messages, and then sends it to the brain. Next up, the mouth. Okay, I don't know if this is disgusting, but this is what it does. Let's say that this is food. Ew, I can't believe I bit it. Anyways, that's let's say this is food. After I bite it, it travels down the esophagus and then down into the stomach. It turns up and up and up and up and up, and then breaks down. And finally, there's more to it than you can even think of. So here's the stomach, and then it goes down into the small intestine, and then the large intestine turns into poo. It takes about 24 hours. I think I made a video about this, and I won a science fair project in grade 1 for it. Yay! And we didn't even cover the human body, so I guess they were surprised. Well, everyone knows about the human body's digestive system. Duh. Oh, it's hot chocolate. Actually, it tastes pretty nice. And, next thing is the nose. It's the place where boogies are. And I definitely did not just pick a boogie right now, because I didn't. Another thing about the nose is that it helps smell. When I smell this hot chocolate, it's still there. And also, there's little smell particles that come up into the nose, and then into some olfactory thing. And then it just hits the wall, which activates chemicals, and sends it to the brain, which translates it into a smell. Now it smells a lot like water, really. But, who cares? Okay, so that's it for the eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. And now let's talk about bones. Well, it's pointless to x-ray a bone, because it's showing the bones. And more about bones is that there has a lot of things to talk about too. One of the things about bones is that they are durable. There are 206 of them in the body. Once you reach adulthood and you stop growing up, and then you start shrinking. I've seen a lot of adults in my life, and they were all a bit at my size or a bit shorter. I mean, back in the day, even when I was 5 years old, every adult, even the shortest adult I've ever seen, was bigger than me. And nowadays, teenagers or 18-year-olds are larger than their grandmas or grandpas. I mean, my grandma and grandpa are still taller than me, but sure enough, at least I'm taller than my cousin, who's 1 year younger. That's a close call. And I'm not sure if I'll have another cousin too, but maybe if I do, I will just call him something. So, yeah, that's about it. Now let's talk about muscles. Muscles. They're the things that make the Hulk strong. They're also the thing that makes Iron Man. Actually, that's Iron Man armor, so let's continue talking about it. Muscles. There are 500s of it in our body. There are more than 500 of it in our body. In our smile, and only one muscle is connected at one end. No, it's not this, but it is a thing that helps superheroes punch an evil robot into space. But what about the only muscle that's connected at one end? Which is the only muscle that's connected just one end? Correct. It's the tongue. Do I look like Albert Einstein here? Hello? Well, yeah. That's about it. And now let's talk about the gut, which is the part that makes all that poo. And so, yeah, here's a little comment. I missed him so much, as if they were all their babies, which I guess are their babies? I'm not really sure, but making a poo son is kind of one of the weirdest things ever. Okay, that's about it. And now let's talk about the final part of the human body. There are actually more, but we're just going to continue about the human body here. The kidneys and livers. There are the things that will filter the whole thing. Blood goes through them, and they look like kidney beans, which is, I guess, where they get their name. And they filter the blood so that they make pee and other stuff, too. So they're basically like little babies who pee a lot. So here you go. The skull, the skin, and here's a part of the human skull. And if you break this apart, there's the brain. This brain is too small for the skull, by the way, so I don't even know why I put it in here. Anyway, let's close that lid. Oh, yeah, here's the mouth. I'm not sure teeth are counted as bones, so I'm not even sure why they put it in there. And here is, let's decapitate it. Here you go. The head. Here's the skull. And there's a lot of things to talk about, too. Here is the brain. Here is a live model of the brain. This is not to scale, by the way. If you break it apart, then you would see more things inside, but then it will take me forever to rearrange it, so yeah, I'm not going to. You can put this back together. And now, here's the heart. If you take the rib cage off, I'm just going to be very careful here. Then here are the lungs. Here's a model of the heart. Here are the lungs. Here's the heart. Here's the liver I was talking about. Here's the stomach. And here is the intestines. And that's about it. So let's put the rib cage back on. And the end. And now let's talk about all the juicy stuff. All the health stuff that is kind of inappropriate to a lot of people. At least for some parents. Oh yeah, kidneys right here. Now let's talk about the reproductive system. Reproduction. Here is a model of the woman's reproductive system. Obviously, we won't make a bowels into this. And here's a baby. Babies start out their little lives inside this little place. This is how babies look like in the mother. If we cut it in half! But I'm not Frankenstein, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to use a model here. Here's the bone, and under the hip, there is the baby, which is the reason why it looks fat and why the butt looks censored. And here, if we cut it in half, we will see this. There is a thing that's connecting it to its nutrients, and then when it's born, where's the, here you go. Head pops out, yeah! And then head pops out, and the whole baby's out. I mean, I would show you some, oh yeah, here is that little part where it's connected, and then the father, in my case my dad, cuts it. And that's basically how it works. So when sperm meets egg, it creates a baby. And these are the nutrients that feed it. That's the whole word it is. I'll show you some pictures of me as a baby. And then you end up looking like this. This is little baby pictures of me, by the way. So that's cute. Baby me. So cute. And you end up with a cute little baby. Aww. I actually miss these photos so much. Well, I don't look that cute, but sure. I mean, who cares if I don't look cute? So this is my favorite picture of all. This one too, of me sleeping. Haha. So those are real life photos of baby me. And now let's move on. We have 2 more chapters left. Life and death. Here is the immune system. The immune system will respond to everything possible. It will come in, yeah, and then the immune system will respond itself. So it will attack first of all with the white blood cells, which is represented by this tissue. So let's say this Scobone jaw is a virus and is entered. And so now, how will the immune system attack? First of all, white blood cells engulf it. Yum, 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 yum. And inside, it slowly consumes it, making it lose its way. Eventually, nothing is inside there. Yay! I now look like a ninja. So basically that's about it. And then there are killer T cells. And then if it's AIDS, well, there's almost no chance that the immune system will go down, because AIDS directs killer T cells, which are needed. And so eventually the immune system will win, and there are ways to win too. Here is a weakened or dead version of that cell, and it's sent into the body to train the immune system. Yum, 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 yum. Make memory cell. Beep, 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 beep. And then finally, when the real thing shows up, it's ready to attack. Memory cell. Remember. Yeah! Like. Sometimes white blood cells will be gone in the process too, so. And now germs. You also learned about germs in the place too. So in conclusion, Kay's Anatomy is awesome. It talks about the spinal cord and all the way to the brain. Oh, he's here. It also talks about all the different parts, including the bones and the skull, and it even talks about the 5 senses: sight, smell, taste, sound, and touch. And that is the end of Kay's Anatomy. See you guys in the next episode, which is going to be about Kay's Marvelous Medicine, a gross and gruesome history of the human body. See you guys next time. I'm out. Peace. Hey, if you guys didn't subscribe yet, please do. Click this and this to subscribe. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna put up buttons. Can I end this now? Yeah? Oh, okay.